Should you use a Chemical Guys Snow Foam Blaster R1 by Torq? How's it going? Hope everything's going well for you and that you're able to get out there and drive and have some fun. Snow foam cannons are kind of the in thing right now when it comes to automotive detailing. However, if you don't already own a pressure washer and you talk about buying a cannon, you also need to get the pressure washer, and with everything you need, it's a $300 to $400 investment depending on what exactly you decide to buy. Now that's a good amount of money for a lot of us that maybe aren't actually doing a detailing business. For those not ready to invest in a snow foam cannon, a snow foam gun is another option. For about $50, you can buy a snow foam gun and it attaches to a regular hose. So today we're going to try out the Chemical Guys Snow Foam Blaster R1 made by Torq and see if it's any good if you're not quite ready to get a snow foam cannon. And now before we get started, on a different note, thanks to all of you, we recently hit 4,000 subscribers on this channel. Make sure to watch till the end of this video because we're gonna have details on a merchandise giveaway to thank you guys for letting us get to this milestone. Now enough of all that, let's get right down to business. First of all, I just want to point out that I purchased everything in this video myself. So me having a positive or negative, there is nothing affecting that. I bought this just to try it out. So the Chemical Guys Snow Foam Gun comes with a garden hose nozzle, a soap canister, a plastic tube, 3 water pressure meter tips, the foam gun nozzle, and a set of instructions that I found not very helpful. Now here's some things that you'll need that aren't included in the kit. You need car wash soap. You can use pretty much whatever car wash soap you want. The deal I got was a package deal, so it came with this Chemical Guys Honeydew Snow Foam Auto Wash. Happens to have a pretty nice smell, so there's that. If your car is more than a little dusty, you're going to need a microfiber mitt and 2 buckets to do 2-bucket method of washing. Now it isn't as involved as the normal 2-bucket method because of the snow foam gun, and we'll get down to that. But if the car is just dusty, just a bit dusty, you can probably get away with just using the snow foam gun. But if you have any dirt that might need a little bit of scrubbing, you're going to need a microfiber mitt. Now I also used a container to hold warm water. You could just do this out of the tap, but for me it was easier to take the warm water to the garage. You're also going to need something to dry your car when you're all done. I used a nice thick microfiber drying towel. I also used a separate microfiber towel for my rims. Now before you can get washing, you got to get everything set up. First you insert the water pressure metering tip into the connector for the pickup tube located at the bottom of the snow foam gun tip nozzle. With this package, most people are going to use the blue tip. That's for normal water pressure. It also includes a green and a yellow tip, and that just depends on whether your water pressure is really high or really low. The instructions actually do tell you which tip is for what. They just don't tell you where to put it. So after some research, I found that it goes right in the connector before you stick on the tube. Once you get the metering tip connector on, you're going to hook the tube to the connector on the top snow foam gun nozzle. Now you're going to want to pour 1 to 3 ounces of liquid car washing soap into the canister. Now gently add hot water to it. You don't want this to become very sudsy because that will interfere with the action of the snow foam gun. Now you're going to screw on the snow foam gun top nozzle to the soap canister. Now mix the hot water with the soap using a swirling motion. Now if your car is more than a little dusty and you do need to use the 2-bucket method and the mitt, you're going to pour a few ounces of soap into one of your 2 buckets and then fill both buckets up with water. Now you'll need to screw on the garden hose nozzle to your garden hose. Now you're all set. Now it's time to wash the car. Now I used to play and also program a lot of first-person shooters. So it was kind of fun because using the nozzle and then using the snow foam gun kind of has a first-person shooter feel. First, you're gonna take the garden hose nozzle and spray the car, starting from top to bottom so gravity works down any dirt and you're not moving dirt back up on the car. Now you want to use the quick connect on the garden hose nozzle to connect the snow foam gun to the nozzle. Make sure when you connect it that you both pull it back to put it on and then push it forward and test to make sure that you have a good solid connection. Now use the snow foam gun to get your car all soapy. Again, starting from top and working your way down. Now you're going to use the quick connect to disconnect the snow foam gun to your garden hose nozzle. While you're doing this, is a good time to let the soap work for a little bit just to get a lot of that dirt and kind of loosen up anything so that it kind of comes down when you're going to rinse it. Now if you let it work for a few seconds, go ahead and rinse the car again, starting from top going down to the bottom. And in some cases, if your car is just a little dusty, that's probably all you need. But if your car is a little more dirty, it's a good idea to go ahead and repeat those steps. So you're gonna go and you're gonna connect the snow foam gun again. And working from top to bottom, you're going to get it all soapy again. Now you're going to use your microfiber mitt and use that to loosen the dirt. To make sure that you don't accidentally scratch the car with any dirt, you're going to use the 2-bucket method. So you're going to use the bucket with soap to help provide lubrication and work through one panel. Then you will clean that with the clean water. Ideally, your bucket has a trap. These buckets that I'm using don't have the typical trap. It actually has a built-in trap. You'll want to rub the mitt against whatever type of trap you might have in your bucket. When you are working on the soap, again, work from top to bottom. Gravity works to help you in this case. Now disconnect the snow foam gun and rinse the car again with the garden hose. So that's it. Your car should be all clean and ready for drying. In my case, I had a lot of leftover soap, so I went ahead and did one more round of soaping it up and rinsing it off. And even after this, I still had a little bit of soap left over. So it does do a lot of soap, especially if your car's a little bit smaller like the 911. So keep that in mind when you're mixing it up. And as you get to know, you might use a little less soap and a little less water just because you know you're not going to need as much. Now after this, I dried the car with my thick microfiber drying towel. I also used a separate microfiber cloth to go about the wheels and rims, as there's a lot of brake dust that just kind of gets loosened but doesn't get off when you dry it, depending on the condition of how clean your rims are to begin with. So that's it. The snow foam gun did a really good job of getting the car clean. And in spite of still using the 2-bucket method, I found it quite a bit faster than the traditional way of just going straight through buckets. Now the one issue I did have was the quick connect connection. After I used about half of the bottle up, the connection would come apart while using it. Fortunately, it's not a pressure washer, so it didn't fly towards the car, but still not something you want. What I ended up having to do was use 2 hands to hold that connector together, so that way it just didn't fall off. I don't know if it had something to do with how the weight was distributed in the bottle or something of that nature, or if it's just my connection's not as good. If anyone out there has used the Chemical Guys Snow Foam Blaster R1 by Torq and has had the same problem, I'd be very interested to hear that, to see if it's just mine or if that's an issue with this particular snow foam gun. Outside of that one issue, the snow foam gun worked very well. Now, don't expect snow foam cannon because there's not quite as much foam as going to get shot out, but you are paying quite a bit less. And you can get very similar results without paying the extra money. And if you're not quite ready to invest in a pressure washer, this is a great way to go. And then you can decide if you use it enough, if a snow foam cannon is worth the extra money for you. Now to the giveaway. When we hit 3,000 subscribers, we promised a giveaway. We had details about how to do that, and you know what? No one entered correctly. So now we're at 4,000 subscribers, so the thought is let's give away 2 t-shirts instead of 1. So all you have to do to enter this time, instead of making it complicated with having to follow us on Twitter and all that kind of stuff, all you have to do is like this video, make sure you're subscribed to our channel if you're not already, and comment. We will randomly select 2 winners on October 31st. Now, if you're not in the United States, please let us know where you are because that might change whether or not you're eligible. I am able to ship it outside of the country, but there are certain countries where I can't. So I just don't want you to get your hopes up. I'll let you know whether or not we're good with having you entered if you comment below and just let us know what country you're in. Now, if you'd like to see me check out the ceramic coating shine armor, check out this video. Otherwise, check out this other video that YouTube thinks you should watch. They are the experts after all. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and drive.